There we go.
There we are. We're online. Welcome to the UTB Blogcast number 6. I'm Brad. We've got Dave already waving.
How you doing, people?
We have James.
Hello.
We've got Chap.
Afternoon, everybody.
And Bartron.
Hey, folks.
We're going to try and do something a little bit different this week, and that hopefully everybody can actually hear us.
Yeah, that would be.
We had some major sound difficulties. We'll blame that on James.
I always take I'm the black sheep. That's fine. You can blame me.
Well, let's see. BBM, how we run UTB. We don't run BlackBerry, we run UTB. But the way we run UTB, BBM turned 10 years old this week. Dave's laughing at me right now.
No, you were saying we don't run BBM, but you know.
Yeah,
we don't run BlackBerry. I was just saying not yet. I don't know. Being an idiot, as usual.
Take it easy on me. I've been awake since 3.
3 p.m.?
No, 3 a.m. actually.
No, that's musicians. That's me.
Yeah.
I just had breakfast.
Long day, Brad. That's a long
So, Dave,
day.
when did you discover BBM?
Immediately after purchasing a Storm 2 9550. And in those days, there were quite a few friends and colleagues on BBM, and that phone was on OS 5, I believe, and it was just a fantastic way to communicate. Really enjoyed it. Always have a lot more than using SMS. Or, of course, email, which is not real time. And through the years, seems like a long time, but I guess it hasn't been all that long, slowly saw the product or the app grow with so many more features to where we are today. Won't bore you with them all, except to say that I was very giddy as a schoolgirl when they first brought out BBM Voice and got all of my contacts on it. And that was absolutely fantastic. I believe at that time I was on a Torch 9800 and OS 6. So anyway, that's my history starting with BBM. Of course, today it's quite a phenomenal product, but I'll let somebody else tell their first BBM story.
Well, I first came onto BBM with the Bold 9900. I did have a Torch 9800 before that, but not many others I knew were using BBM BlackBerry devices. And when I got the 9900, my wife started using my Torch, so that was a great way for us to communicate back and forth. As you said, Dave, real-time communications was fantastic, saved us kind of relying on unpredictable and expensive SMS and very unreliable email. It was good, and it really picked up when I connected with you guys, basically. Now that we're doing UTB via BlackBerry Messenger, yeah, and it's just a fantastic functional tool. The big thing for me was when BBM went cross-platform. So a lot of my mates using Android, a few iPhonians. Unfortunately, if you're watching this, which you may or may not, I apologize for your purchase choices, but they're starting to get into it as well, and they see the benefits of the functionality of BlackBerry Messenger. As you said again, Dave, voice. What a great addition. And now we've got so many different functions with this product. So it's just a fantastic thing. I'm very, very happy to be using it. Somebody else want to share their first time out?
I didn't get onto BBM until I got my first BlackBerry, which was the Z10 in April 2013. It was just over 2 years. Of course, I had known about BBM and heard everyone rave about it, but it obviously wasn't cross-platform at the time. And so, yeah, setting up the BBM was one of the first things I did when I got my Z10. And then when they came out with channels, I jumped on it right away. And once I got into channels, poof, there goes my Facebook. I hardly ever visit it. I hardly ever touch it. And for the past, almost 2 years, I use it basically to, actually since I gone onto channels, I use Facebook just to keep track of birthdays. And then just last week, I finally deleted it. Said, I'm not using this, screw it. Delete it. And channels all the way. The only thing, I'm trying to get my whole family, my brothers and their kids, and that it's a mix, and some one or two Androids, mostly iOS, and a couple of Blackberries. And the only thing we need to exchange, do video conference, voice, and text and stuff. But right now, the only thing that's truly cross-platform for voice and video is Skype, and we don't particularly like Skype. So I'm just waiting for BlackBerry to put voice and video on the iOS, and that's it. I'm converting them all.
Skype's better than WhatsApp.
Oh yeah.
But let's not ruin that yet. Maybe we should move on to somebody else's first experience.
Well, Brad, why don't you go last, because you probably have the most thorough experience, and mine's kind of funny because I had the first BlackBerry I bought was the Storm 2, and then I went to the 9900, both on Verizon, and I was on an island. No one I knew had a BlackBerry, like no one, and I never saw one in the wild, and everybody was at the time iPhone, I think, and so I didn't use BBM until I got my Z10. Like as soon as Verizon announced it, I waited like 30 days because I was hoping for the Q10. But I got the Z10, and I went onto the Orange site, and I was on there for a few months before I left. But in the few months, I got invited to a group on BBM, and that was the first time I ever tried it, and it was really cool. And I thought, oh, this is really cool, and I was so excited about how it worked, and I just wished I knew more people. And then I started. I got hooked up with you guys, and BBM is phenomenal. It's amazing, and I cannot imagine a more. And I'm an objective guy. If there was a better product out there, I would. I might not say it because I'm a BlackBerry fan, but I certainly wouldn't be as high on BBM as I am. It's got to be the best instant messaging platform out there. I mean, it's so robust. It's got business and personal, applications. And so anyway, I will say one other thing. We've done the he has a BlackBerry, and he lives in India, and we've done the video chats, and we've done the screen share, and I actually walked him through a presentation that I created using the screen share, and it's amazing. And his Wi-Fi was a little buggy, so once in a while we had several of those calls, and once in a while it would break down. We'd have to reconnect or whatever, but it's awesome technology.
Yep.
My BBM story started with this little guy. This was my first BlackBerry.
Rollerball.
Yeah. It's the old Curve, and around here, everybody had this phone. I mean, it's like you couldn't go anywhere without seeing this phone in somebody's hands. It was a different world back then. But even with that, I only had one friend on BBM, and it was the girl that sold me my phone. And she worked at AT&T. Huh?
This is where we play the Smooth Operator tune.
Hey, let's not go into that.
No, she was a personal friend that worked at the store. She showed me BBM. I didn't even know what it was. I wasn't too into the tech at that point. But she was really my only BBM friend for years, and then me and my ex used BBM, and it really wasn't until you guys that I got like the full use of the groups, and now it's a cause for me. If somebody wants to communicate with me, it's got to be on BBM. and I just ran into a pretty bad struggle about a week ago when my folks updated their Android BBM, and it has the material design where everything's all rainbow bright now and looks odd and nothing's in the right place, and they were done with it. They didn't want anything to do with it anymore, and it's like, this is sad because now I'm not going to get to speak to you anymore. And they've stayed on it. So that's why I keep seeing people on the channel saying I'm forced to use WhatsApp because my family's on WhatsApp. You know what? They're your family. They love you. Make them get on BBM. It's that simple.
Yeah, and if they don't, that's how much they love you.
Yeah, and then it's time to find a new family. It's that simple.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry, Dad. It's just not good enough.
I know I'm in my 40s, but I'm going to put myself up for adoption. It's time.
Yeah.
That could be a new reality television show.
UTB.
Find me a family.
Yeah.
I saw somebody in our own group. James' Italian brother. He's on WhatsApp, and that's always his excuse. My family's on WhatsApp. I've got to be on WhatsApp. It's like, you know what? It's time to educate your family. Get them off of it. It's cross-platform. It is by far the best platform out there. And what I'm actually using with people now is channels. You know, I mean, I don't think any of us has a single female friend anyway that hasn't had a Facebook stalker at some point in time. You know, or any of those. I don't know. I just think, you know, you go to the bar, you meet people, you give them your phone number, and then they can track you down. You know, I mean, you can find out so much about somebody from their phone number. And you give them a pin, you give them your BBM channel, they're only going to see what you want them to see. That's all they're going to find. You know, it's really simple to create multiple channels, and you know, if you want to be you want to come across as the nice family guy for the nice girl, have a channel for that.
Yeah, and it's also really easy to deny access.
Yeah.
So guys, the WhatsApp, is it still set up to where once you download that app and you start it, anyone who's a contact sees anything you post, right?
Yeah, so if you're using it for business, but you post a status message that, hey, I got drunk and arrested last night, your boss is going to see it.
What,
Yeah.
again?
So here's what I don't understand, Brad. You said I know who you're talking about. I'm amazed that he would use WhatsApp unless he's only using it only for that, and he's editing everything and being so conscious. I mean, that's why I deleted the app. I mean, at the time that I downloaded that app, I was horrified once I realized how it worked, because I had like 1,500 business contacts on there, most of them prospects, some of them clients or whatever, and then I had my friends. And it's like everybody all of a sudden shows up in there, and it was weird and it was intrusive. And then I realized anything I posted, everyone would see, and I thought, this is useless. Who wants everyone to see the same stuff? I mean, I'm a different person when I'm hanging out with my friends than I am when I'm in business. And that's just the way life is. I don't understand it at all.
And it automatically goes out and grabs all those contacts. You know.
Yeah, that's what horrified me. In 5 minutes, like James, I looked at my phone and I'm going, wow, look at all of these people and look at all of these contacts. And by then, really, basically, it's too late because everybody has your phone number. WhatsApp has your phone number, and it never goes away. So you do it once, and you're dead meat right off the bat. I I dumped it. I did it on my 9800, and I never touched it since. But quite frankly, I'm still in their database.
Right.
I'm so not impressed.
Well, thinking back to what Ray discovered when all of a sudden he had Facebook contacts phone numbers that he had never had on WhatsApp before, that, just people that
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
that was,
And as he was testing it and called somebody to find out if that was their real number, discovered that she had deleted Facebook and WhatsApp, what was it, like 2 years ago? And was
That's
still
what I'm
showing
saying.
up in his phone.
That's what I'm saying.
That's really seriously messed up. I'm sorry, that's messed up.
Yeah.
We talk about security all the time, and it's one thing to think that, I don't think the Chinese government wants my information. There could be somebody that wants to steal my identity and go open a credit card. I could see that. But having our contact information just out there for anybody, there's lots of people I don't want calling me, period. Lucas,
Yeah,
don't call me.
including me. He doesn't like it when I call him either. Hey, speaking of that, let's go back to BBM voice. Those of you, except for Brad, that have tried BBM voice, because he doesn't like telephone calls.
Dave.
What?
Talked on BBM voice once, and that was to you.
I know. So once, it's once. Anyway, so
Can I vent a little bit, please? I was going to call Brad. I wanted to talk to him about UTB, and I was like, I'm furiously typing on my Q10, and I'm fast and everything, but I just want to say, let's just talk about it. I'm in business. I talk to people all the time, and I insinuated that maybe we should have a conversation, and Brad immediately made me feel like I was a stalker. He's like, why would you want to talk to me? Why would you want to talk to me?
yeah.
I was like, come on, man. I just thought, we could talk.
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm on my BlackBerry all the time, tapping away, doing multiple things. The last thing I want to do is put it up next to my ear. I don't want to do that.
Oh, well.
That's
Anyway,
what
so what I was going to say is, I just want to finish this. BBM voice, those of you who have tried it, and there are millions of people that have, the voice quality is pretty much second to none. Now, if you've ever had a normal cellular type of phone call with someone with a recent decent device, including all current BlackBerries, you may have encountered HD audio on that, and the difference between a normal cell phone call and that HD call is stunning. You might as well be talking to this person in the same room. And that is the technology that BBM or BlackBerry is included in BBM. And one of the reasons that it beats the snot out of things like FaceTime and WhatsApp and other technologies is because once you've gone from, let's say, your Wi-Fi area in your house, you go out on the internet and you hit BBM servers, and you're carried through BBM servers with a technology called SIP, Session Initiation Protocol. And in that SIP phone call, they're using HD voice. They also prioritize the voice higher than they do normal BBM traffic because voice is a real-time thing. And then it exits the BBM servers at the other end and goes to the other person on their Wi-Fi or cellular or whatever you got. But anyway, the codec that they use is G722, if I'm not mistaken, which is a high-definition voice codec, and that's why it beats things like FaceTime and other technologies. It's just another way. It's another gold standard kind of a communications thing that BlackBerry does. So, geek out.
Cool.
And I got to admit, I'm with you on that, Dave. BBM voice is fantastic. My mum, who is in by no way tech savvy, she recently got herself a Samsung because her old dumb phone literally fell apart. So she got herself a new smartphone, and the first thing
She was dumbfounded.
She was indeed. My apologies to the listening audience out there for that that terrible pun. The first thing I did for her was put on BBM for Android. I couldn't get her into a BlackBerry. I got her an Android. That was the best I could do. But I got a BBM for Android. And now, instead of making phone calls to her mobile, instead of doing SMS, we just do everything through BBM. And she is amazed at the call quality. And that's saying something. She's put up with poor quality on landlines, on her mobile phones for years and years and years, and she's astounded. One of the other things that I'm excited by is the fact that WhatsApp do not have my details, and I don't intend to give them my details.
Good.
So I've just started a business, as many of you in UTB groups will know, and I'm going to be pushing on websites the use of BBM, and to say to people, one of the ways to get in touch with me, download BBM, here's my PIN, get in touch with me, and we'll go from there. We can voice, we can video, we can text, whatever is most convenient for you. So there's another way that hopefully we can bring people into a more secure environment in terms of what they do and what they say.
Are you going to put your barcode on your business cards?
Damn straight.
I like it.
If I could have a business card that was a Q code and a barcode and that's it, I'd be a happy man.
That would be perfect.
Take this piece of cardboard, scan these two things, and you're done.
Maybe even an NFC chip in there.
Yeah.
Oh, glorious, glorious. Oh, absolutely. So BBM is 10.
It's 10 years old, and seeing those images of the old original BBM, I'm trying to remember what version was on this phone. I don't even have a charger for it anymore to where I could load it up. I don't recall it looking like that. I know we didn't have the pictures. I know we didn't have, the avatars like we do now. But it was so awesome back then. I mean, I swear, the person that I spoke to on this phone, we didn't even have anything to say. It was just fun using BBM.
Yeah, back then.
Your chat up skills are definitely have to improve, Brad.
What's that?
Your chat up skills definitely have to improve.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm looking at my old Blackberries and I'm reminiscing right now.
Yeah. So, how about the weather there? Yeah. It's all good.
Now you can just share the weather app.
Yeah. I got a question for each and every one of you. Knowing what we have today, with voice and video on BBM for BlackBerry, well, video on BlackBerry only so far, taking a little longer than I thought it would to get cross-platform, but stuff happens. And retracted messaging, BBM privacy, all the other things that have come out for BBM, the stickers, the channels, all of that stuff that's come out over the last year or so. What would you guys like to see next? I'm going to start. I think if I could, I would arrange for BBM to be able to make landline calls and cellular phone calls. In other words, I'd like to be able to phone anybody I want on planet Earth, any phone call. Doesn't matter whether they have BBM or not. I could phone a business, I could phone a person's home line, or any other phone number through BBM and get charged, I'm going to say, 2 cents a minute, because that's a typical business going rate, maybe 3. And that is what I would do to BBM next. And BlackBerry could take some profit out of that because they're not going to have to pay the 3 or 2 cents. That's just a retail fee, amount. So that's what I would do with BBM if I could.
So Dave, that would be almost like a VoIP service provider.
100%, James. You nailed it. They're already doing SIP through BBM. All they need to do is get a direct connection to any carrier. In Canada, you could choose Bell, TELUS, Allstream, who cares who. In the States, pick your carriers, whatever, and just hop onto their network. As soon as you're making a call that's not a BBM to BBM call, you hop off onto that network, and you're paying 2 or 3 cents a minute anywhere on the planet. That's what I'd do.
Can I add to that email service through BlackBerry too? You know, have an email address that's a BlackBerry email address.
Oh, you want a little biz love.
Oh, I want that back so bad.
That was nice. That was nice. So who's up next? Who else wants to see something new?
I'd actually like to see something come back. Something that I loved about the old BBOS groups was we still have it now, but it's missing something, and that's the lists and the calendar. And when I would add something to that on my old group, you get a notification, but you know it was there. Because I know in our group, every now and then somebody will make a list. Hey, let's do this. Let's make a list. I never notice it's there because I never go through BBM to get onto BBM. I go through the hub. I need that notification back.
Okay.
Same here.
That's good. Well, who's on BBM betas?
Not I.
Not me.
I'm always picked for like flashlight betas. You know. Give me something good, man.
Who is
no
it?
offense to that flashlight developer.
A flashlight in the Beta Zone app.
Yeah.
What I'd like to see on BBM is a bunch of new features added to channels.
Okay.
I think it's been doing well, given that they're haven't really been pushing it or even promoting it. I think it has been growing pretty well in that sense. But for a while now, it's been lacking some features. I think it has such great potential because it solves the 2 biggest problems with Facebook and Twitter. Twitter, almost everybody I know, the thing they hate about Twitter is the 140-character limit. It drives them nuts. And with Facebook, of course, there's no privacy. And trying to set your privacy settings is hitting a moving target. And they keep changing the goalposts kind of thing. So BBM channel solves that. There's another big problem with Facebook is that everything you do, if I go into, let's say, a BlackBerry page and I enter a comment, all my contacts get a notice there that says, I have commented on a BlackBerry page. You don't get that. And if I don't want them to see that, there's nothing I can do. I have to ask them to go into their settings and change it so that they don't see it. There's nothing at my end that I can change to prevent that from happening, and BBM channel solves that. It solves the problems of all its stalking and the data mining and that. So really great potential, but there's a lot of features that I'd like to see added to it. Just simple stuff. It shouldn't be difficult, like just the ability to like a comment on a post.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something as small and simple as that, editing your post.
Multiple administrators.
I think you can have 2 already.
Yeah, but that's not directly on BBM. You have to go to the website.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, you have to do it through the manager. So yeah, that would be nice to do that. But I kind of take the different route because I see everybody they want to be able to embed YouTube videos. They want to be able to do this. They want to be able to do that. And I see a lot of complaints that the channels hasn't really grown. And I understand that. It really hasn't since it came out. And obviously, it's not the moneymaker they hoped it would be. So they're not putting a lot of focus on it right now. But at the same time, like, I'm a little bit older. I had a MySpace. You know, I did have a MySpace, and I saw how cruddy that social network turned out to be as they tried to add every single little thing to it. You know, and I don't want to see channels getting overloaded with all these features that we're all asking for to where it becomes something that's not as good as it is right now. Right now, it's simple. For a mobile platform social network, to me, it's nearly perfect. I mean, the minute you start adding all these new little functions, it stops being so simple, something that I can just pick up and flip through and be done with. You know, it becomes something that, oh, I need to go here, I need to go there, I need to go there.
Yeah, the UI gets too complicated, but they got to at least add the ability to edit a post. So many times I see people, they make a mistake when they post it, and oh, I got to delete the whole thing and re-enter it. But I mean, something like that. But I agree. When it gets to the point where you're adding so many features that you can't design a proper UI, and it gets complicated, that's when it's too much. That's when.
Yeah, that's a fair comment, because, like so many things in software, you get bloatware creep, and every time you download the new version, it's frickin', 10 megs or whatever bigger, or a gig bigger, or whatever the software is. So you have to worry about those kinds of things, because an awful lot of software tools just create bloatware because it's easy to do.
Well, perhaps they could take the LinkedIn route, and rather than just have a channel that you can manipulate and do what you want with, they have subscription channels. You have your basic free stuff. If you want a few more features in your BBM channel, then you pay a monthly subscription. If you want a kind of a gold class BBM channels, you pay a little bit more. So that way you can monetize your channels and get some kind of momentum happening with it, and have your differentiation between your personal channels, some guy just reposting 101 different things, and people who are wanting to utilize it for more business purposes. It's worked with LinkedIn, I think, and I think it could work with channels as well.
So I'd like one thing added that I can think of is, of course, the cross-platform video. But for channels, I would love to be able to give my channel pin or something to someone, and if they don't even have BBM on their phone, I'd love for them to be able to go to a website URL and see it. And maybe they don't have the ability to comment unless they download BBM, but at least they can see the channel. I'd love, like, for BlackBerry to have a part of their website to be like channels, and you can go in there and find the channel that you want to find and see and surf the channels and stuff just from a PC browser or a mobile browser without having the BBM application. I think that would be.
Yeah, I like that idea, James. I have my our company BBM channel in my email sig, and people who see that on their BlackBerry click it and go immediately to our company channel. But anybody else, no. So I like that idea.
Well, actually, one feature that I think is, for me, is probably the biggest and most urgent is to arrange the emoji in the order it or arrange it so that the ones you use the most often is at, let's say, the top right, and you basically arrange it according to how much you use it. It drives me up the wall when I'm swiping down and looking, where's that friggin' thing? I saw it appear as a fourth. I don't use that many different ones, so we just put the ones I use the most at the top. That would be fantastic. That's probably the one feature I really want the most in BBM. I'm impatient. I'm impatient when it comes to using technology. So.
The coding is already there with Hub. I mean, you get the priority buttons at the bottom. The one you use the most kind of gets closer to the center, and James is holding up a protest note.
I was wondering what he's doing.
That's Brad. That's Brad's favorite emoji.
Well, what they'd have to do to implement it is keep track. Every time you use an emoji, they keep a counter for each one. Yes. And then when it comes to displaying the emoji list, you just do it in order.
Yeah, then you could have contests, right? And Brad would win using that emoji. And as a matter of fact, if you ever want to get Brad's fingerprint, all you have to do is scan it off of that emoji location, and you'll get Brad's fingerprint.
Wait, Ian. But if I want to find an emoji, they're always in the same place. Your method they would change where they are all the time.
Yeah, but the ones that you're using the most often are always going to be basically in the same place, so you don't have to search. But I don't remember where they all are. Okay, make it optional.
So James, your very first emoji would be that little tongue sticking out, and that would be the only one you would ever need.
Yeah, that's true too.
Make it optional then. Put it in the settings. Well, you're right, James. I agree. If for those people who know where they are and can jump to it, you're right. So just make it optional. Put it in the settings. For me, it would save me a lot of time.
I like that.
That's where BBM started.
I'd also like to see default to standard BBM icons instead of stickers, or your choice as to whether you want to default to stickers or not, or something.
I would like to see emoji packs, even more so than sticker packs at this point.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Actually, I'd like to see animated stickers. But yeah, I'm wondering, for emoji packs, couldn't you just take the stickers and shrink it?
Sure. Yeah. The big difference is that you get to use the emojis in a sentence, but the stickers are all by themselves.
Oh, yes. I see. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I see what you mean, Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem is a lot of these stickers, the lines and the detail is too small. You shrink those stickers smaller, and you're going to see the damn thing.
Well, I'd also like to see the regular emoji get a little bit bigger.
Yeah, same here. It's fine on
the problem with emojis, though. The problem with the emojis, though, is that it's a combination of characters. So if you're trying to actually purchase an emoji pack, all you need to do is learn the combination of characters, and you've got free emojis.
That's true. That's also how we end up getting that random angel all the time.
Not necessarily, because like if I were, let's say, coding it, I would code it so yeah, you enter the text, but it's up to BBM to then look for the emoji that's mapped to that text.
Right.
So
otherwise, it's
that emoji,
just text.
Yeah. If you don't have the emoji, it would just display the text. That's what I would do it. Yeah. I'm certain.
Like when you stuff up with an emoji anyway.
Hey, so guys, how many of you? So I didn't use BBM until my Z10 a couple years ago, and I never used a single emoji in a text message until I got on BB10, and now I'm using them like crazy. And it's weird because I don't know. I started thinking, what's going on here? I'm using all these emojis but they're so convenient,
And they're cute. But I mean, look at when the stickers came out. How many of us thought that was ridiculous and was for 7-year-old girls? And why are they putting it on our BBM? I was one of them.
What are you saying? It was about a week after. It was about a week after BlackBerry said, week or two after BlackBerry said they're going to focus only on enterprise and they're going to put kind of consumers to the side. And here we are, like a week later, stickers.
Yeah,
stickers.
And they were enterprise. They were dumb. I will never use these. The majority of us said, and we can't go 10 minutes without a sticker popping up in our group.
So guys, how much money is BlackBerry making on the stickers? Does anyone know?
I wonder about that because I don't know what the split is between the sticker creator and BlackBerry. I imagine it's going to be really fair for the creator with BlackBerry because they want to get more people involved. I don't think it's going to be like an iTunes where the creator gets like 30%, whatever. Oh. But I know, off of me, I'd have to count how many sticker sets I have, but
yeah,
I probably buy a couple sticker sets a month, so
yeah, it's $1.99 or something a pack. They got to be making some money.
Yeah, they're making some money, but it'll be all profit because I don't think it's costing them anything. You're probably getting someone to review, the sticker packs that are submitted. But it's not like YouTube hiring a bunch of people to review all videos being uploaded. There are not that many sticker packs being uploaded, let's say in a day or whatever. So, yeah, that's probably the only cost that they have. So it's probably mostly profit that.
And same with the subscription. If you guys went through and counted how many of your contacts have banners, I'm at about 30, I'd say 35% of my contacts have banners. That's a lot better than I would have assumed would have happened.
Well, I must confess I haven't taken up any of the subscription offers, and I haven't paid for a single sticker pack. All the ones I've got are free, which means I have one and the BB10 birthday one. But then again, I don't use them. I haven't used them. I use the M-Joys. I mean, I only use a certain amount of expressions anyway, mostly these. But I'm delighted to say I seem to be in the minority.
No, I got to use emoji because my writing's very dry and direct. And, yeah, I've seen people.
What?
I've seen people like, well, yeah, I've started wars. Had to work with it, and for whatever reason, they thought I was being hostile, and in fact, I wasn't. And what are you talking? Why are you so upset? And I just said this and that. But I don't know, something with my writing, so I got to throw them in every now and then so people don't freak out.
Calm down, Bertrand. Calm down. Don't be so hostile.
That's very true. It's very hard to get emotion across in written words sometimes, especially when it's just short little messages back and forth. And there's been plenty of text messages that I've sent or received, probably more than I've sent, where somebody shot back with, a completely different reaction than what I intended to have. They didn't catch the sarcasm in it, but, with a little emoji, you add that little flirty face, and they know exactly what you're saying,
Yeah. You mean like that day I quit?
Yeah.
I look at my phone and it's like, what the?
Who hasn't quit yet?
I'm quitting today.
There you go.
I agree with you, Brad. The emojis and the faces, or the stickers rather, are they're really good for conveying meaning, especially when you don't know people outside of this medium anyway. Like most of you guys I know through BBM primarily, and now a little bit through these videos that we're doing. But if I didn't have the stickers, you don't always know where Brad's coming from, because he's maybe more sarcastic than I am or whatever, and you don't know, they're very helpful actually to convey context and stuff.
I'm not sarcastic.
Talking to those Brits.
Yeah. Brad's not
It
sarcastic.
at least gives us a clue as to where Brad's coming from. It's a starting point.
Well, did we beat the crap out of BBM yet, or?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
pretty much.
one message we need to get across, though, is that we need to be recruiting people to BBM. We all know what BBM is. I think our readers and our listeners, all 7 of them, know what BBM is. But it's we keep seeing all these people on our channel specifically saying, I'm forced to use this, I'm forced to use that, I have to use WhatsApp because my family is on it, whatever other messengers there are, and we need to stop that. We need to educate them. We need to bring them on board, let them know that BBM is the best messenger out there. It just truly is. I've played with a couple of the others. I had WhatsApp on BBOS. It sucked. I doubt modern WhatsApp is any better. Someone want to jump in?
If you want to advertise your location, everyone just use Facebook, right, Brad?
Exactly, down to the meter right there. Okay, how about the
Silver Passport?
exactly
The silver passport.
the information
Yet another
that's
device
not
this
supposed to be
country
out
won't
there.
see.
What's that?
What's that, Brad?
I just said the information that's not supposed to be out there, and now it's everywhere.
Well, internet. and
It's just
people who have
hilarious
access to
that-
things that they're not supposed to let out. Yeah, absolutely. Plus internet and 15 minutes, or like we were saying before, 5 minutes of fame. And now you've got a combination for, well, it's kind of sad, but it happens on every platform. I don't know how to stop it.
It does. I would
And
just
that's the thing.
once I would like, I don't really care that the new iPhone screen looks exactly like the old iPhone screen, and I don't care that the new Note looks exactly like the old Note. But this is something that it does look different, and what's bothering me is it's like in this case, the people who that information was released to are the people that should be supporting and promoting BlackBerry more so than anybody else. And they chose not to. They chose to throw it out there. I have a problem with that, but it's out. We didn't post it, but I'm going to talk about it. The original images that we saw of it, the original leak, I think most everybody said, why? Why are they doing this? Because, I mean, we all know that the Passport is an awesome machine. And why are they making such a minor difference and making such a big difference in the way it looks? And in the last couple of days, everybody that I've talked to that's seen it has wanted it. You guys? I want it.
I'd dearly love to have it. I don't think I need it. Well, I know I don't need it. Here's me, the idiot that went out on his birthday and grabbed the Passport on day one. I mean, what else are you going to do? It's your birthday. It's the first day in Canada for the Passport, so I had to go get it. But based on the fact that I don't think that any of the internals are different, I can't see a shape or a color doing it for me. That's just me. Do I want it? Sure, I do.
And
It's
I think
metal,
that's the problem
Dave.
with device leaks. The problem with device leaks is when it's just images, that's all you get. So we can talk about internals and specs till the cows come home, and nobody resolves anything except great attention and people getting ticked off. I'd admit, I may be the exception. I don't want it. I looked at it and thought, it's not that much of a difference from the current Passport for me to think I'd like to have this device. But in saying that, I am from Australia, which means we probably won't get it anyway. So that point becomes totally moot. The big problem comes when people who apparently have garnered trust with the company break that trust. And it's not as if these people just come from nowhere and suddenly become BlackBerry elites, getting this information to review, and they can just do whatever they like with it. These are people who have persevered with the company, who've kind of proven themselves and got this position, and then just totally and utterly slapped it into BlackBerry's face by saying, we're going to throw this out into the wild. I think that's the real problem. We don't have the internals, so we don't have enough really to talk about. It's just a look at the moment. And that frustrates the dickens out of me. You guys?
Well, I have one question, chap, and that is, just when do the cows come home? Because I haven't seen it.
In about 2.5 hours.
Depends what you're serving.
Okay.
It also depends whether it's daylight saving or not.
No,
Well,
I
do
agree.
you want to talk about the rumors? Do you want to talk about the rumors on it? That it's the current rumors are it's the same specs, it's the same device, it's a new shell basically, and a couple of the issues that like the screen lifts should be resolved with this now. But
if you guys search BlackBerry Passport Silver, you can get a link that's directed to the BlackBerry website, and it says learn more about the Passport Silver Edition, and then it just brings you to the BlackBerry Passport section.
Right.
So that's kind of interesting that they are recognizing that, you know, this information is out, and they're just directing you to the BlackBerry Passport website. But
I think they're getting ready for the release, and it's just linking to the main site right now. I have a feeling in the next few days when they release the phone, when they announce the phone, it'll pop over to a different location.
So I don't know what's going to change or not about it, but you guys are probably more better informed. But even if it was just silver, I think, you know, it's a style issue. People might like it. Maybe they fixed the screen lifting or whatever. It's, you know, people buy that stuff. So, you know, look at Apple. I mean, their stuff's crap. They come out with a slightly bigger screen, and it's a big deal. So why can't BlackBerry have a silver phone? There's nothing wrong with that. But I love the Porsche devices. I'd love to have them. I can't afford them. I'm very frustrated that they leak this stuff. I mean, these people, you know, they got to go crawl back under whatever rock they crawled out from. I can't stand that. They're trusted to be part of a group and test things and try to help BlackBerry make something better for the public, and they screw them by, you know. And Chen came out and even said, you know, I don't want you guys, you know, leaking this stuff. And I just think they're, you know, I'd like to use language I really shouldn't here, but it frustrates me.
You'll be PMing me later tonight, won't you?
Is that code? I think with the rumors, one thing we've got to take into account with the rumors is that rumors hopefully are about what people want to see rather than what they expect. The BlackBerry Passport Silver, okay, it could fix the screen lift. That's the big thing that people might be talking about. If they're saying that the specs are the same, then is it that the Passport has perfect specs and it couldn't do any better with what it's got? So nobody can imagine the next stage? Or is it that people want the Passport to be a dud?
I think people want. I think it's meeting the market again. I mean, Blackberries were they were black, they were blue, and the iPhone came out, and you had white phones, and all of a sudden we had white Blackberries. Right now, you look at all of our neighboring phones, and they're all made out of aluminum. So BlackBerry comes out with a, I believe, stainless steel case. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Steel frame.
Yeah.
Yep.
Steel versus aluminum. Yeah. Let me bash my Passport into your iPhone and see which one still makes a phone call.
And I know you want to do that.
Why do you think I want the silver so bad?
Brad's going to have a
And
new
I
sport.
agree.
It's like a wrestling thing, only with phones. It's going to be, you know.
Suddenly,
Yeah.
you guys,
The new
Suddenly
UTB bumper sticky?
If it's going to be the same specs, then that pretty much means that the Passport 2 is not going to come out this year, and it'll be released next year, which probably means it's going to be put on a 2-year cycle, unless maybe they decide to release Passport 2 in spring. Because I do remember it was an interview. Chen said, I can't remember who it was with, and he said they hadn't decided whether they'd release the Passport 2 this year or next year. So if the Silver Edition is just, the purpose of it is just to give a different feel for a different region. My understanding was that it was for the EMEA region, Middle East, Asia. If that's true, then probably will be just the specs will probably be the same specs, just because it's cheaper. They don't want to run up the cost for one part of the world.
Yeah.
And so that's the way I see it. So that would mean if they're going to do that here now, let's say in September, I don't see them releasing the Passport 2 this year. At earliest, maybe spring of next year.
And to support that, I would refer to Chen's statement about going to 2 and/or 1 handsets per year. Something of a major significance is probably going to be a 2016 device. I mean, after the slider. Supposedly the slider is late this year.
And I don't see anything wrong with the 2016 device. I don't see anything wrong with the 2-year cycle. We talked about this in the last blog. or Blogcast that, I said 2 devices, 200 devices, whatever meets the need, whatever meets the business model. And if having different devices on a 2-year cycle, but releasing, as we say, 1 or 2 devices per year works for the BlackBerry model, then it works. And I'm okay with that, because for most people, if they're getting them on contract anyway, their contract is on a 2 to 3 year cycle. So that would work for them.
Not just that, but a phone like the Classic doesn't need to be updated every year. It's not about being on the cutting edge. It's about updating a winning formula. It's you look at something like the Passport. That's supposed to be all about innovation. So the kind of people who would want a Passport do want something new, something really cutting edge, and so they would expect something every year. But for something like the Classic, yeah, sure, put that on a 2-year cycle. The Leap you could probably put on a year cycle because there's a lot of room for improvement because it's a mid-range device, and it's cheap. People, because it's so inexpensive, people would be more willing to change it, let's say, every year than they would a $600 or $700 device.
Right.
So, but I imagine the Slider and the Passport. I can think of reasons why they'd want to put it on a 2-year cycle, and I can think of reasons why they'd want it on a 1-year cycle. So, yeah, I'm not sure what would happen with that. But I think that's a smart thing to do.
Here's the $1 million question for me: is Verizon gonna carry the silver Passport? Because if they
Always
do, I'm
thinking about
screwed.
yourself.
Yeah, why don't you and Verizon go get a room?
Duke it out in their forums, Jim.
Hey,
Duke it out in their
you guys
forums.
gonna tell me that your carrier is that much better? Whatever.
My carrier sucks, James, but yeah, they're better.
Mine gives me, unlimited everything for $35 a month, and they don't use CDMA.
That's the CDMA is the point. Well, going back to the price, I'm looking through right now. I only saw one person that's going through my channels that I follow saying that this silver is going to be cheaper. I actually heard it should be the same exact sticker price as the current Passport. I'm not expecting it to be any cheaper.
I'm not sure why it would be cheaper.
No.
I mean, it's more metal, less plastic.
Yeah, exactly. I think originally the first rumors was that it was going to be a cheaper device with lower specs. And I think that the person that I saw reporting that it's going to be a cheaper phone is still going off of that.
Okay. What they might do is they might have newer versions, same components, we'll say the same model of CPU and all that, but probably newer versions. Let's say I think it's the Qualcomm. They might come out with a new version that fixes some bugs in it, but it's probably the same model. And they may do some tweaks on the circuit, just some improvements to fix maybe some bugs. But other than that, I expect the same thing. And really, it looks to me like the whole purpose of it is just to change the form a bit.
And what kind of makes me happy is going back again to rumors, and they're all just rumors and things that you hear and people supposedly playing with devices, was that this is the device that I expected and I fully believed, and you guys all know from our group conversations, I expected there to be 2 variants of this thing, one Android and one BB10, and it doesn't look like that's happening.
What's Chap laughing at? He's about
I don't know.
Yeah, what are you laughing about, Chap?
I'm getting
Sorry, guys.
I'm getting worried here.
My wife came home about 15 minutes ago, and she's distracting me.
I thought you went outside and picked the wrong kind of mushrooms or something. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm with you.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Where's that straight-faced emoticon?
I'm gonna party with you, Chap.
Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Vegas,
Okay,
baby, Vegas.
I'll see you guys in September.
Well, we got to wait for JP to turn legal age. And then
Are you kidding me? We'll all be in old age homes by then.
Maybe by then Microsoft will see him as a man instead of a girl.
Oh, God, I forgot about that. Nice.
But yeah, this actually puts a big question on me now if about that whole Android rumor, because I was 100%. I believe that I was 100% believing we were going to see two variants of that phone, one Android and one BlackBerry. And with the leaks and rumors that popped out today, I'm not seeing it. It looks like a BlackBerry to me.
I think people are seeing what they want to see. Really, they see what they want to see. And how often have we heard, if only it was like an Android, if only it was like an iPhone, if only it did this, that, or the other. Come on, we've used the system. We know the phones, and they work well. We don't need it to be like something else. We don't need it to emulate other things. Yes, okay, we've got the apps. Close the app gap. Fair enough. But outside of that, we've got a great ecosystem. We don't need to see that. And I think BlackBerry knows that well. They know it so well. And they're not going to lead us up that garden path. They're just not going to feed the rumor. And I think that's why it's taken us so long to get to this point where we can say, hang on a second, maybe that was just smoke and mirrors.
I got big bucks saying that inside BlackBerry, there's people walking around with sliders that are running Android with a BB10 skin, and I think that there's people walking around inside BlackBerry with a slider that is fully on BB10. And I'll bet you they are looking at them both hard and fast, and I'd be surprised if both of them came out. I'd also be surprised if the Android one came out. And I'm also surprised at whoever that is. But anyway.
Well, BlackBerry might say,
hello.
well, BlackBerry definitely has Android phones in their offices because Ken has said many times, he'd release an Android phone if he can make it secure. So I can guarantee you they have been trying probably for a few years trying to make it secure, and which means they got to have it. I mean, look, Microsoft I think it was in the late '90s had a Linux team inside that would work on Linux. So yeah, I'm sure they have guys walking around there with just Android phones. Sure. But by the way, they got to test.
Don't forget that a major part of their business is securing those Android phones and those iOS phones and those Windows phones. I mean, of course they've got Android devices inside and iPhones. They've got to secure them. That's what BES is doing.
But they have to.
It's called the School of Hard Knocks.
It's
apology number 2, folks.
It's different for them to secure the communications, whether it's voice or data or whatever, than it is to actually secure the phone.
Yeah,
that's true too.
And that's why I think while they're testing these systems, BlackBerry would never give its customer base an Android phone.
No.
With its hardware.
All I know is Chen will fight tooth and nail to keep BB10 no matter what, and if he has to give it up, I mean, it will be the last thing he wants to do. See, he's emotionally attached to BlackBerry coming back to the way they were before, and that means BlackBerry devices with BlackBerry OS.
I don't think he can give it up. The most secure thing on the planet is a BB10 phone on one end and a BB10 phone on the other end. You can't give that up. It might become small, but you can't give that up.
Mm.
And it'll be interesting to see what happens on how secure you can get an Android handset to be on BES. Recently had the opportunity to get one of my handsets on BES, and curiously, there's no Android runtime on the work side. So you got to wonder why.
We don't. We know why.
Yeah. Is that settable through BES?
No.
Okay.
I've searched every option, and I'm not, by any stretch of the imagination, as knowledgeable on that as I am with some of our, VoIP apps at the office. But if you go through all of the screens 3 times and don't find it,
Yeah.
I mean, let me put it to you this way. You can take an Android app. I chose OneNote. And you can put it in a profile for a user and or a group of users, which I did. And whenever you go into that profile, you can see that this particular user, I made a new user called Fred Flintstone. That's me. And my Z30 is on Bez. And I can go from personal to work side. And I can see in my profile that I have OneNote in my profile, but as soon as I go to my BlackBerry World apps on the work side, it's not there. Although any other BlackBerry type of app, whether it's Android heritage or not, is there. So if it's in BlackBerry World, you can stick it in your work side. If it comes from Google Play, you don't get it on your BlackBerry work side, even though it's listed in your profile.
Good.
What about the administrator? Could the administrator load a Android app on your work side? Because what I'm thinking about is, all these people that need their Android apps for work. All these companies that require certain Android apps. Could your Bez administrator load it, or is it just completely off the table?
That's me. I'm the Bez administrator along with somebody else, Robert. Actually.
Oh, he gave you admin? I didn't know he gave you.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like Eric Schmidt at Google. Actually,
Right.
he probably carries 2 phones, an Android phone and his BlackBerry.
Right. One of those is something he trusts.
Yeah. Exactly.
You spoke about Google Play Store, but what about the Amazon App Store?
There's no access.
There's
no access
to that either.
And to go further, when you're the Bez administrator and you want an added app, you click on a button to add an app, and you're given 4 choices: BlackBerry World, Google Play Store, the Apple App Store, and Windows App Store. So those are your 4 icons. There are no more. You can't add any more. You can't add Amazon in there. And when you pick Google Play as an example, you can search for any app and find it, and you can download that. You're then given a choice to add an icon to that for some strange reason. So I gave mine a strange icon instead of the one that OneNote would normally come with. And again, you can load it into a profile, but you cannot use it. I then went as far as finding that OneNote APK on my work side, downloading it, no problem. But as soon as you want to install it, immediately it comes up and says file not recognized. There is no Android runtime on the work side.
Wow. Huh.
Good.
Yeah. Bartron likes this picture. Yeah.
Awesome.
I was on BES for like 6 months at my old job. It was pretty cool. All the syncing is phenomenal. It's phenomenal how everything syncs so fast. All your sent, all your read, your unread, everything, anything you do, it's immediate. Faster than Outlook. I'd be sitting at my PC looking at my Outlook screen, and I'd answer on my 9900 Bold because I'd get the email faster, and then it would show up eventually in the Outlook.
So anyway, I watched the Bez 12.2 cast that they put on the other day, and ended up emailing Brian Berard, who's the guy who did the cast, and just asked him if there was a roadmap for the Android runtime on work side in Bez. And so you never know. Maybe I'll get a reply from him, or I'll find someone else to ask.
And we'll find out in another blogcast.
There you go.
How are we, folks? What's next?
I'm about to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Hey, how's that whiskey sour going there, bud?
Hey, that's good stuff. It's the whole waking up at 3 in the morning that's throwing me off a little bit. Hey, you know, I see my dog back there. There's
Yeah.
Sydney. She was my old icon from a couple of the old sites there, but
Yep, I remember those. All right, well, I've about spewed enough BS for one night, I think.
Yeah, I'm done.
And I've got lunch waiting for me.
All right.
I need some food. So
Yeah,
okay,
me
so
too.
what we need to remember is that we need to recruit everybody to BBM. And we want to invite everybody to our forums. Come talk with us in there. We know you read us, you comment on our channel, yet you don't come to our site and our forums, making me feel like a mother yelling at her children here. Come visit us. Come talk to us.
Yeah, I agree with that. Come on, we don't bite. Sign up, sign in, have some fun.
And we're sick and tired of Brad yelling at us.
That's not going to stop.
Yeah. Not the face. Not the face.
All right. We all good, guys?
Yeah,
Yep.
we're good, Brad.
Absolutely.
All right. Good night, folks.
Good
Hey
night.
guys.
Good
Take
night,
it easy,
everybody.
everyone. Bye.
See you later.